Clio SoF returns to Germany, and with that, welcome! Week 6 of the season, halfway point after this race. And what do we have in store for you? 4 splits, so 4 broadcasts this week, starting, of course, with the top split. And what is the track? The Motorsport Arena Oschersleben. We are driving the Grand Prix layout. It has a length of 3.696 kilometers. We expect 9 to 10 laps across the splits. It was the season opener last season, and the podium looked like this. Miguel Freitas won. He is not here. He has an injury. We have to keep that in mind. Freitas not here. This will affect the overall championship. Muhammad El Hariri was in second place. He also has not been seen in a while. I think his studies are the main reason for this. And Tomasz Rajsic was in P3. He is in the driver list for the top split race today as well. So who knows if he can repeat what he did last season. Yeah, what are the key points of the track? Turn 1 and 2, difficult, especially turn 2. You can expect a lot there. Then the second arrow I put around turn 7. No, this is not turn 7. This is right after turn 7. The right, left, right, fast chicane. I apologize, I miscounted the turns. Will be interesting to see there as well. And then the chicane there near the end. The problem with that is, especially outside, is so prone to off tracks. And now we take a look at the demonstration lap, and then we take a look at the starting grid. And now we are on board for a demonstration lap here at the Motorsport Arena Oschersleben. And as I mentioned, the first key point already begins here. To the inside, then slight change. Dylan makes it look so easy, but you can lose the balance of the car so easy there in that left-right section. Then down to turn 3. A hairpin to the left. Take as much of the exit as possible, like he does. And now we get into a double left section. Number 1, number 2, oh, even a triple section you could say. And then turn 7, long right-hander. And then the chicane I mentioned. Really fast, right, left, right, into this slow, and also here, be patient or you get an off track. Then a bit of a straight. And then the next chicane. And especially here, it's so easy to get the slowdown because it's not the AstroTurf that counts, the curb does, for whatever reason. And now we're already at the final corner, another right-hander, and we are done. This is one lap in Oschersleben, and now we see how qualifying went and take a look at the starting grid. We have our starting grid, all 16 cars from Dylan Da Costa to Tomasz Rajsic. Will be tough for him to repeat a podium. And we are racing, ladies and gentlemen. Week 6, Oschersleben. Here we go. Dylan Da Costa, Raul Hernando, Roman Perschke, the top 3. Down to turn 1 for the first time. Let's see if everything goes as you want. Oh, someone is going wide there. This is Gilberto Struck. Welcome back to the SoF. But sadly losing a lot of positions because of that mistake. Fighting against Martin Dale for P13 as a result. But apart from that, so far decent start. Cedric Gibret, he is in P5 chasing Rui Teixeira. Behind him, fellow Frenchman Clément Godet. But so far nothing has changed. Except for the mistake by Gilberto that cost him a lot of positions. That chicane for the first time. James Lazark-Smith only P7. Cedric Gibret goes wide. James usually someone you expect around P3. So P7, bit surprising. But maybe he can find his way past Clément Godet. He shows himself for the first time. Little bit of contact. Nothing too major. Tries it again. Dives to the inside. And I think he has a chance. But now Clément has the inside for turn 1. And he is still in front. Clément defends P6. You have to watch out on the inside of turn 1. Easy to get a slowdown penalty. And sadly, because iRacing does not save these details in the replays, we don't see it. If it was a detail that was being saved, the overlay would show it, but sadly, nope. iRacing replays do not save all data like this or nationalities and stuff. Kevin Anfield had a little break of racing of 2 weeks. Now he is back. He is in P9 with an iRating of 4,999. You can't get closer to 5,000 than this. Behind him, Carlos Rivera. And everyone else. Rivera side by side. Does he get past though? No, he doesn't. But at the second try, yeah. I was just waiting for a moment to see how this unfolds. But Carlos Rivera is now past Kevin Anfield and in P9. Roman Perschke attacks Raul Hernando. I noticed that the sound of the engine is a bit off in this replay. I hope it's not too bad in the actual video at the end. But if the engine sounds a bit weird, it's because of that. Nothing we can do here, sadly. But so far, pretty civil start of the race. The first 4 minutes, we saw a mistake by Gilberto. We saw 1 or 2 overtake attempts, but nothing crazy. Maybe this can keep going. Dylan da Costa almost a second in front of Raul Hernando, who has to defend against Roman Perschke. And remember, since Miguel Freitas is not in this race, this will have an effect for the championship. Remember, we have drop rounds and all that wonderful stuff, but still. For this week at least, things will change in the championship. But who will take the lead? Dylan da Costa, Raul Hernando, Roman Perschke. All 3 of them have the chance to get past Miguel in the overall standings. But like I said, only 8 results count, so No harm, no foul for missing a race. Sergey Afanasiev, P13, choice of line, not a good choice of line, and Sergey losing a lot of time as a result. Okay, it was just a blink. I was thinking for a moment, did he rage quit after that mistake? No, it was just an iRacing blink, so we now have a new person in P14. Yeah, what happened to JB Masida and Tomasz Reisic? I don't know. Maybe technical problems. Because both of them have not started the race. So only 14 cars driving. Lazak Smith and Bruno Gaiotto. After the early attempt to get past Clement Godet, nothing came through it. And now Bruno is closer to James than James is to Clement. But this is the closest battle. P2, Hernando and Perschke. Good thing for Dylan da Costa that they fight. He can increase the lead bit by bit by bit. Now 1.4 seconds. Last time we talked about it was around a second. Bruno Gaiotto thought for a moment. Decided against it. Wise choice. You see a lot of debris on the track after the mistake by Sergey Afanasiev. But yeah, Oschersleben and overtaking. Possible, but difficult. Carlos Rivera has closed the gap after getting past Kevin Enfield. He is now right behind Bruno Gaiotto. These are P7, 8 and 9. I noticed that the replay is especially bad on Carlos's side. Oh, speaking of bad, this is a bit more important than the faulty replay. Rivera goes wide, rejoins at the back. That was costly. Instead of attacking for P8, he is now in P13. Meanwhile, Perschke and Hernando. Story of the race. How will the former champion handle this? The question is, what does he want more? A good result in P3? Or trying, maybe risk something for P2 to get even better result? Excuse me. I mean, he has still time. And it is not as if Raul is slow. I mean, he closed the gap to Dylan from 1.4 to 1.2, so they match in pace. I mean, there's also a gap to P4, almost a second. Rui Teixeira, then Cedric Gibrat, Clement Godet. Not a lot is happening here in Oschersleben. Overtaking, difficult. Very, very difficult. Especially if you're so similar in terms of pace. You need mistakes. Like we've seen from Carlos, Sergey and Gilberto. That's the only big changes. But if we take a look, what would a P2 mean compared to a P3? 10 points in the overall standings. And for the split championship, 3 points. So this is what we're talking about. 10 points. Remember, the winner gets 100. Second place 85, third place 75, and P4 70. For a reference point for you. It's so difficult. I mean, it's not as if Roman isn't trying. He is trying, ladies and gentlemen. But Raul drives clean, drives fast, doesn't make a mistake. And a combination of those three, now a little bit here. This was the first thing I would call a mistake, but you can't overtake here. Overtaking on turn 7? Unheard of. Unless it is a big mistake. A real big one. And that was not a big one. It was a minor mistake. Cost at max 2/10, maybe even less, so calling it a mistake is a bit of a stretch. But we need talking points in this race. Not a lot is happening. Cedric Gibbert, P5, closing in on Rui Teixeira. 3.5 minutes left. We are about to begin lap 8. Gilberto, after his early mistake, still stuck behind Martin Dale. Yeah, but if you compare it with the qualifying, who has really changed apart from the 3 driver mistakes? No one? No? The only overtake we've seen was by Carlos, and he made a mistake a few laps after this. So nothing has changed basically. Meanwhile, Roman Pershk is still looking, still trying. They collide a little bit. Love tap. I mean, Raul does a smart job. That's for sure. Now he went a bit wide, and look, he has to drive defensively now. He knows it. And Pershke to the outside. And he's through. Roman Pershke. We have seen an overtake, but do we see a counter maybe? No, we don't, because we cut away. But I think Raul was able to counter. Nevertheless, we will take a look at it in the highlights. But yes, he was able to regain the position. Now they are super close. Of course, it was costly in terms of time. Dylan now 2.3 seconds in front, but 2, 3, 4, and 5 are within a second. Could this spice things up? Maybe. We are on lap 9. We will see 10 laps here in top speed. Martin Dale behind. Very interesting what the replay file has in store for us. Oh, a little bit of contact there, Martin Dale and Gilberto Struck. I mean, that's one way to get past. A little bump to the rear. Maybe not the cleanest way to overtake. But an overtake is an overtake. I would be mad if I was Martin. Getting pushed to the side basically there. But it is what it is. White flag is out. Dylan da Costa, 2.2 seconds. Then Raul Hernando, Roman Pershke, Rui Teixeira and Cedric Gibbert. So close together. Less than a second. Roman Now they are side by side, but Raul has the inside advantage. Roman tries it, he tries it, look at this, but no, and now he has to be mindful of Rui Teixeira. Did this cost him P3? I don't think so. No, it didn't. But it probably seals the deal. As long as there is no mistake. Martin Dale, Carlos Rivera, this is for P12. Ibret Teixeira. Ibret on the outside. But no. Oh, Teixeira takes the off track. But as a result, stays in P4 defensive line through the final corner. And Dylan da Costa wins! 2.7 seconds later, Raul Hernando, Roman Perschke, Teixeira, Gebret, Godet. They all so close together. And even the final cars are about to finish the race. Sergei Afanasiev over the finish line. And these are the results from Da Costa to Rocks on the first page. And what does it mean for the standings? We find out now. And here we are, back at the standings, starting of course with the overall standings. And would you look at this? Roman Perschke is leading the championship after week 6. 443 points against Dylan da Costa with 440. And Miguel Freitas with 409. But here comes the big word, that is but. Dylan da Costa has only 5 counted races. Technically 6, we will see it in the split 1 standings, but hear me out for a moment. Miguel Freitas has only 5 results. Roman Perschke has 6. So he might be leading, but the number of races are currently not in his favor. Let's call it like this. And if we talk about drop rounds, which is a bit too soon, currently a drop round for Roman Perschke would be his P8 from Oulton Park, which would be 56 points. Just to keep that in mind in comparison. A P9 for Miguel Freitas and a P4 for Dylan da Costa. But we are too soon to talk about drop rounds. If we continue our scroll, let's not get too much into the details because we would spoiler ourselves. Rui Teixeira, big jump into P19. A few P4s does that to you. How many points do you need to be in the top 50? 66. Done by Alex Sully. More on him tomorrow. He's in split 2. For the top 100 you need 22 points. Nicolas Reich. Since he's American, Nicolas Reich probably. And how many drivers do we have? Do we have 173? And how many have at least one, more than 1 point? 137. Okay, but I said something about hear me out about the races, because if you take a look at the split championships, you will see Dylan da Costa now has 6 races. If we compare it, in the overall he only has 5. What is going on here? I may have an explanation for this. Week 1, Oulton Park. Remember, Dylan da Costa did not start the race. Technical issues. Thus he did not start. The overall standings does not take that DNS into account. the split standings do. Interesting. Either way, don't panic. I'm pretty sure those 2 points Dylan da Costa has gotten out of this did not start will be a drop round at the end of the season, so let's not take too much into it. But just to mention it because it is obvious, 6 races, 5 races. Either way, what is also interesting in the split 1 standings, P2, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 have not changed positions. They are stuck where they are. Oh, also one thing you notice here, Dylan da Costa, not because of those 2 points I might add, is leading the split 1 championship because of the different weighting of the point scoring systems. The split 1s has 20 cars in mind, the overall at least 60. This is the whole explanation why. And how many drivers were in a top split race? 44! 44 drivers have tried their best in a top split. So yeah, this was split 1. Not a lot has happened. Oschersleben, it's just that kind of track. But we will see what splits 2, 3 and 4 have in store for us. Now let's have a few highlights of the race, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Take care.